I hope you guys are enjoying your sessions. Are you? Yeah. So the next session we have with us is Varuna. She has a total experience of 5 years, of which 3 years she's been working with ThoughtWorks. And she's worked on web platforms and has a good experience in the retail space. So pairing with her is Krishna Kumar, KK. He started his career 10 years ago as a software tester, of which last 5 years he's been working with ThoughtWorks. And he's worked on technologies like Java, Ruby, Hash, Selenium, and
okay, we'll just start. I'm just here to set the context. Varuna has done a lot of research on responsive web design, and she's going to talk about responsive web design, the testing, and also demo using one of the frameworks that we evaluated. In ThoughtWorks, when we do projects that are mostly consumer-facing, there's a responsiveness becomes a very important aspect of it. So if you see the evolution of the different devices, not just devices, and also in terms of computers. Take a simple example: rewind our clocks 30 years ago. There were not a lot of computers. Right? I remember my father works in a finance organization. He used to work in a finance organization. Everything was registers. Everything was just papers. Right? 15 years ago, we had computers. 20 years ago, we had computers, but those were like big boxes, CRT monitors. 10 years ago, it all started converting to better LED or LCD devices, and the resolutions were different. So if you see the entire timeline, the evolution of these devices is exponential. In the last 5 years, how has it changed? A lot of tablets, a lot of mobiles, and at this stage, the growth is exponential. The de facto is changing so quickly, and mobile has become a de facto. If you start with your web development, you start thinking about the mobile first, and not about your desktop application. How many of us remember going to a railway station to book tickets? I remember vaguely, sure. But when we say booking a ticket back then, 10 years ago, it was like, oh, I have to go on a Sunday morning, stand in a queue and buy tickets. These days, when you say book a ticket, well, I know in my mind I have to reach office at 10 o'clock to book the Tatkal, or I'll be on this device, I'll be on road. So I kind of know like what a standard is in these days, right? So look at the mindset shift that has happened. When you say something like immediately a picture is in your mind, say, this is what I have to do when I say book a ticket or buy something. Buy something is more online and less going to a store. I want to buy a camera. How many of us do go to a store? Very few of us, right? So I think that's how the standards have changed, and we're just going to touch upon how important it is to make your website responsive as an organization and as services. So you have your so you can cater to your customer base, and that's the premise of this. That's how we do responsive web design. So we're going to touch upon that.
That's good. So hope you all had a good tea break, had a good networking. Can I ask you how many devs, UI devs, are here QAs? So responsive is not only about being a QA, it's more about being how responsive you are giving a website to how easy you're making a life of a UI dev, your product owner, your QAs. So responsive web design, if I say today, it's not an optional. It's a functionality of all your system. So as payment module is being more important for your system, being responsive is also more important. So in morning, Gunjan was explaining about that there are 4.5 billion users of smart devices, which is going to convert around in a 6 months double. So you need to care about whenever you are designing your website, how responsive it is. Let's go through what agenda of the session. We'll cover what responsive is, why should I care for being a responsive, what my end users are, and what would be the approach, whether I'll be going with a desktop first design or a mobile first design. Challenges in testing, and then ways to test, which tools we can give it to our product owners so that they can test it on their end and demo for their end. Okay, let's put me a question here. Let's put the question. How many of you believe that web is a desktop computer monitor? You just get a keyboard, a mouse, and how many? So none of you believe that web is a computer. What web is that? Any question? Anyone? What's web all about? So we agreed upon a touch that web is not only a computer. Web is far more than that. And number of devices floating in the market, that's what web is all about. So you have a smart devices floating around in your market. So you can't say that web is only a desktop computer in the era of when we were doing the programming of a C. We don't know what the future is. Your microwave oven can contact with your fridge, what is being present in your fridge, get it there. That's the Internet of Things. So we are tending towards the future of Internet of Things. We can't say now the web is desktop. How many online shopping lovers here? Everyone? Awesome. So suppose as KK mentioned that we don't go to stores to buy the cameras. We always buy the cameras online. So how many of you do compare with your different websites? You do browse, save in your desktop. Suppose in your leisure time or lunch hours, or while browsing over, traveling back and forth from an office. Again, you want to take a different opinion. What opinion? You want to take an opinion of some of your friends who are very good photographer. Which camera should I use? Or you want to get it at least a little opinion of your spouse also, even if you don't want to. And your friends. You have browsed, you checked out, you saved. At night, finally, after discussing with a number of people, you think, let me do a payment. What will you do? You're too lazy to open your, even if you sleek laptops. You have always a mobile phone in your hand, using a WhatsApp. Late night, having seen the last status of others. You go there, you see, let me do a payment only. I need to just give my credit card numbers. What you figured it out? That website is not available for a mobile. If by any chance it's available also, it's not responsive. Your content, your saved item would have not been there at all. Quite frustrating by this time. Okay, check it out. I don't want to buy a product. Let me go over a weekend, I'll see in the Chroma store and get the product. Why do simply do a payment here? So from being a customer of that product, you turn to be a visitor of the product. So in today's, and we all are working on different domains, we want our happy customers. So always think, how can you make your customers happy? What are you doing to make your customers happy? We always heard these kind of buzzwords. And we, as a customer, when we are in that front, we are not happy. Let's see how we can design our website and how can we convert our visitors into a customer. So as mentioned here, UK is #1 in mobile shopping. And we discussed most about the cross-device part of it. You browse, you check out, you save item in one device, you do the payment and other stuff, or save for a letter or your wish list in a different device. So it's most about interacting the same website with a different devices. So before the smartphones came into a picture, if I go from a web designer or a QA or a business analyst perspective, what was our main domain of testing or designing? It was, my website should work in a different browser with a combination of different operating systems. Same, we as a QA, I need to test it in i6 on a Windows 8, or I need to test in a Chrome in a Mac. That was our domain. We were not thinking more than that. even while writing our automation test, whether my XPath will be getting rendered in i6 or not, because that's a legacy and the old web browsers. Being a smartphones, smart devices floating around the market, we are not here. We need to test a combination of devices with an operating systems with our browsers. That's what responsive is all about. It's an approach of laying out your design in such a manner that it's ease of use from whichever device and whichever location you want to use. So as we mentioned earlier, that you figured it out while doing a checkout, that the site was not available on the mobile. And even if it was available, you have a different version. Suppose www.jabang.com has been converted to m.jabang.com. Quite fuzzy. Why is it in m.jabang.com? Or why is it asking me to continue to the website version? Or why should I download? I don't care to download. I am doing shopping for one time. I don't want to do. For the next step, responsive is all about one URL, single content, same code base using a CSS3 media queries. Apply it. So you would be having this buzzword in Java. Write once, run anywhere. Responsive is all about write once, use anywhere. One size fits all. So now we would have, oh, this what responsive is, why should. But why? Why being as a QA? Why being as a web designer? Or why being as a product owner? I should care for being a responsive. So you're getting a new project. Your clients are very happy you have worked before them. But you haven't worked for a responsive design. To design their website on a different browser, or what are the list of end customers supporting an operating system. That's what you did. How will you make your product owner to make sure you design a website being responsive? So what are the driving factors, or why should I care? The question first it comes whenever you will be entering into a session also. Why responsive? Why being a responsive? So here comes it. It saves lots of time and money. So I have worked in a couple of projects where product owners are not being going for a responsive. It's time, it's money, hiring a developer, web developer, and the QA is not, no, we don't want, just design it. But on the other hand, our product owners who have gone a responsive have always a different say. They say it's quite expensive in the start, in the phase of a development, but you get rid of hassles of maintaining a different versions of a website. So you need to make a single code change. Suppose you want to add terms of policy in a different condition, So terms and conditions are there in each and every website. What will you do? If your site is not responsive, you need to make a change in a different version of your site. Oh, this is my tablet. Oh, this is how the terms and conditions. Life of web designer is also help. Life of QA is also help. So I have seen last session, there was one fresher. So if you make them scared in the starting itself of their career, they'll say, oh, let me quit IT, let me go somewhere. Why should I be here simply thinking of this web design? User experience. I don't know how many of you were there in the last session. We all discussed about usability. How are you giving your content to the users? So how many of you traveled to Pune? Okay. So quite rush out from office, traveling, getting the baggage and checking the tickets in a mobile. Oh, which flight was mine? What was my number? If the flight number and the ticket and the content which you would like to render to the end user is being after this throw, it's not a responsive. Your user experience gone there itself. Traveling in a trains, planning for your travel trips. You don't get the station itself. It's not responsive. So responsive is mostly, if I would say, how you are giving a user experience. Maintenance. One site, no code, single code. Whatever you want to make a change, make it there. Everyone's life is easy. Web developer, product owner, QA's entire development team is happy, and you can party all time. If you want to be ahead in your race, so you would have seen there in the retail domain, There are so many competitors for a single thing to sell. Even if you see a shopping, you would be interested in where should I buy? Where should I buy on Jaboo, or I should buy on Flipkart, or I should go for a Myntra. If you want to be ahead in your race, this is the right time to invest in being a responsible. Let me put, how many frequent bloggers here? So we have 2 hands here. Both of them went after this session. They had written the same content of what they learned in responsive web design. His site is not responsive, his blog is not responsive. His blog is responsive. You search responsive web design. His blog comes first in there. Here comes the search engine optimization. So search engine also crawls which sites are being responsive, which are not maintaining the multiple versions of their site in their devices. So his website will be having higher ranking and priority, and he'll become famous over the internet. Within 10-15 searches only, his name, oh wow, such a frequent bloggers. Even if you see, the KK is also having the same content. Quite fuzzy? Search engines. So if you want your business being an online business, you don't have any marketing people leading your business. Your business is going only online. You want your visitors to come to your sites. How will you make sure? You need to go parallel with your major search engines. Search engines also supports responsiveness. Another, why to be a responsive? All about the content management system. So how many of us, or how many of you do, if I say, you have a blog on WordPress or you have a general blog?
WordPress.
Here again it wins. Now content management system. So he's now being famous. Don't worry guys, you're famous. So WordPress, search anything, his content will first, because the content management system also supports being a responsiveness. Again the news, you would have seen the same content, or if you are seeing a blast in Pune, outside Thordot's office, you see the content management system will always see which site is being responsive, and you will get the same contents, even if the content is not that great. So it's not only about the content, it's about how you are designing your website. Last but not least, it's all about ROI. Invest now, enjoy later. Still you want to be a web developer? You have these, so you came from, suppose in a call, you came just out from a college and someone said to you, I heard you want to be a web developer. These many devices you need to test. Make sure your code is working. Other way, gone. The showcase itself. Product owner will say, oh, I am using Nokia 1100. Why my site is not working? I want to show my achievements. I want to show that I presented to my grandfathers. What? You're saying that you are using only touch-based devices. Why not click? That's how it is. So now we figured it out that it's necessary for us. It's a must-have, like a functionality to being a responsive. At least if we are convinced, we can educate our product owners. Let's figure it out, the approach, what approach will be going for designing a responsive sites. So our approach will be mostly a mobile first device. So it's like a progressive enhancement. Take a very old browser, whatever, or the first browser, and whatever the old devices. I can give an example of any Nokia 1100 or anything, whatever you want. It's not about the Nokia. Very old device, mobile devices, which you want to take. Make sure your site works using CSS1, CSS2 on that browser combination. Then make a progressive enhancement. Now come to 6600, whether it is working fine for that or not. Then take a power and a leverage of the latest browsers. Latest browsers always provide you a better user experience, and they always keep updating. So that's how the mobile first design. You design it for your basic mobile set, and you make a progressive enhancement, making it to work in a smart devices. So we were again discussing. I want to tell it to my grandfather that today I am presenting in Word and he is using some basic mobile sets, but still that is being a web, that's being a browser enabled. And here I have heard you that okay, no, your PPT and presentation won't load there if you are told this SlideShare won't work. Oh, what is it? I want to share it with someone who is using an older device. Don't always think about touch devices. Think about a click versus touch. Loading time. Oh. Always, how many of you have been, oh, when I'm using our internet over my site, it always my battery drains out. How many of you? Everyone, whatever. Just stop the internet while using in a train or when you don't have any options to charge your device. Why is it so? Because we designed the website in a desktop version part of it. How is it so? Suppose take an example, a basic example, that every site has some breadcrumb. Now, on a mobile device, you don't want to show the text of a breadcrumb. You just want to show an icon of a breadcrumb. If you go with a desktop first device, what will happen? Okay, display it. When the size is this, then hide it. You would have seen a little flake of it. It will consume your battery power consumption. Again, if you are having not in a good network, you will figure it out. You can also see the text at the very fractions of seconds of point. Losses, battery consumption. Not a good user experience. You said, let me not use this website next time. Or you give this word of mouth. Tomorrow morning will come in office. Quite frustrating yesterday night. I have used this website. People don't use it. This is how it happens. We mentioned yesterday earlier. Start with your base CSS using CSS1 and CSS2 media queries and take a leverage and power of latest browsers and make your device. So if I see, this was the desktop version of a device. The example which I was giving you here, you are displaying a breadcrumb link text as a block. Now, in a mobile device, when it comes, you are seeing a none. But at some fractions of time, you are displaying it unless your browser is being rendered, then this is not my desktop. This is some of the other device. Performance, time consumption, user experience, gone for a toss. Mobile first. You say upfront only in a progressive enhancement. I don't want to display anything. If it is of this mobile first design, I don't want to display the block. And for the desktop, go ahead, display the text. So here comes the challenge. I have always figured out in our projects what set of devices to test. So it's like n number of devices into a browsers, x into an operating system. How will you select those devices? And if you have a different skin of portals. So we were in a project where we are having a 20 portals of a different skins. It's a retail-based train line operating companies. How will you test? How will you select your devices? There is nowhere it is being documented. You need to take a good advice of, here comes, what is your end user? How many of them are using what? And we all know that our sprints are 15 days. You need to do performance, you need to do functional, you need to automate everything, you need to showcase it to the product owner and then incorporate the feedback source. That's the biggest challenge I have ever faced. Repetitive, iterative testing. If someone is just changing a login to a submit button or some of the text of the button, how will you make sure that it works fine in all the different devices, with all the different operating systems, with all the different browsers? Again the thing, it's more about the user experience and domain expertise. All the expected behaviors cannot be documented. So if you suppose your site is of a gaming site and it's being used by a kids of age 3 years, you know how the kids are. They are very impatient. If they won some game and you are not showing them some fuzzy balloons and all, they'll just throw the device itself. Forget about saying that your site is not responsive. They'll throw the devices. That's what the users are. And suppose your site is of medical domain and it's been used by 65 years plus people. What they want the content, they want a recovery, they want what a prevention should be done for these things. If your site is not responsive, what? Now farmer who is using some basic model of a phone which has a browser being enabled. How will you make sure that the content or the message what you are giving to your site? Even now I have seen in the villages people started booking a tickets over a mobile. How will you, so it's all about comes from the user experience part of it. That's what we are. So after doing all this, okay, be responsive, convince your product owners. Now how will you test it? And how will you make sure that even your product owner, your BAs, or you can float it around your managers and everyone. So after doing couple research, we figured it out that these are the add-ons and the tools which we can use it for testing it manually. I'll show you, I'll give the demo of this. Let's figure it out what we can do for the automation part of it. So there are a couple of frameworks floating around in the market to test the usability aspects of your application. How usable it is. So after doing, we selected a Galen as a framework. What was the basic fundamental reason which we as a QA figured it out? That Galen framework supports both the layout testing and the functional testing. So here, I have one framework. If I want to do some layout of my different scale size of a portal, I can do that. If I want to perform the end-to-end operation for from the browse, search, checkout, I can do that also. One solution, easy to maintain, easy to transfer even when you want to roll off from the project. So hard na, when you have a context of 2-3 years, you have to go and, oh please guys, give me a roll off, I don't want to be here in the project. How will you share your context? Have one framework, very easy, sharing a personal experience. Kiran is laughing here. So why Galen framework? So Galen framework was, when it was being designing, it has always been kept in mind being a responsive. Suppose the Selenium build. All your problems solved here only. Run multi-thread, different operating system, different devices. Get the result done in fractions of seconds. No need to do open this device, get this simulator. Then a detailed HTML, detailed report. I'll show it in a demo, I'll give you how the report looks like. So it will give you the exact pixel location at what point of time it is figured. So suppose you want your login button to be 30 pixel next to below above the footer. Whatever you just take a so it will give you if it is 29 pixel also, and if you are marking to fail it as a 1%, that will give you the exact detailing reports. What you need to just do, integrate it in a CI and break the bed. And then go and tell the UI devs, this is what you did. I'm not going to test. So you don't have to be worried about it. Make them fix. Make sure your build goes green. Your life is easy. You can go have a chit chat, do party, come late to office. Image comparison. So you design, okay, my design will be looking like this. Your product owner is happy. From your showcase, capture that image. Again, when you are running your CI, get the image, what is being actual, what are you being expecting, and what the error prone you want. If it is 22%, you are okay. If it is more than 2%, fill the build there on. Your developer, go and fix. You are happy. It's not about being a developer or a UI developer. I'm just about saying your health of your product will be more. You would be very, you will give a more satisfied customers. So, suppose you want now Galen. Okay, how will I design my Galen? Open a notepad. Save any file with .spec as a not demo.txt, make it demo.spec. Every one of us knows that we have elements in our web pages. How will you identify your elements? Your elements will be your object. So that's the first part in a gallery. You need to define your objects. So header, now identification can be different. It varies from the side to side. It can be using a locators, ID, CSS, XPath, whatever. Now 200 devices floating in the market. We need to tag what is the actual height and width of sites. That's the tag. References. Wherever you, which location I want to display my site, near, below, above, home, after the home page, there will be main section, navigation, whichever I want to display, alignment. So menu section is horizontally and vertically aligned with a navigation bar. Just use the align keyword, aligned horizontally, all height and width. This device is having this height, 200 pixels or 240 pixels. It's not only about device, it's about the module and layout sections. Yeah, any questions here? Okay. Color scheme. So your login or your submit button is being, suppose I'm saying that my submit button is having a 2% of green color and the color distribution 98% is light blue. Your color scheme is distributed. Now if you want, if someone is making a changes, you can identify there. If it is change of 1 pixel, let the build go green. If it is more than that, fail it. It's not only a pixel, you can give it as a percentage, you can give it as a tolerance level also. Image, as we discussed before also, you can compare the image and put it in a CI, break the builds. So here comes the simple thing. This is the desktop and the mobile part of it. We have a header, main section, navigation, and a footer. We discussed previously, we have an object definition. So I am defining my objects. Header is my object, main section, navigation, footer. How am I identifying this? With ID, CSS and XP. These are my tags, desktop. So desktop main section is below header. These are my spec references.
Okay. So this is not just a description. This is how a spec file looks like in Galen. So this is a simple markdown file. This is executable. So once you write this, you can just execute this using Galen, and this will actually run out your whatever tags that will show you after this. Like whatever screen size that you want to run on. This is as simple as just saying things, right? I say this is my header, this is my this, and you say below the header this should be, like my main section should be below the header and should be inside the screen from 0 pixel on the left. So this is the executable code.
And from the desktop and mobile we can figure it out. The navigation which is at the right corner as we move below the main section. So in the mobile I am making it below main section. Width is 100% of screen width. Again the align keyword. This is a very useful keyword which I have always used in my projects. Align horizontally all below the main section. Footer, again the color scheme part of it here.
Can I use the same, that means we are talking about the different devices. Can I use it for the cross-browser testing? That means we have the different browsers and we have alignments, issues and all. So can I use it for the different browsers too?
Yes, you can. So you need, I'll come to that, you need to identify the browsers in your test. So again the color, whatever the color scheme and the image comparison. Let's go through the demo of this. So first I'll show you whatever the tools are helping us.
Yeah, so we have a couple of examples. The bare simples, you can go back to the slide file. Yeah. So this is a very simple one. Here you are just identifying the header. you're saying the header is the element name that you're going to refer to, and you say the ID is header, right? That's how you identify. And in your verification or your spec, you're just saying that the height of the header should be 40 pixels. Right?
So we are using a gallon with, whenever I'm running a spec file, is a gallon check which spec file you would like to run, what's the URL, and what is the size, and again the reporting part of it. So it will, I want to save all my HTML report under a reports folder. Let me execute it. So it failed. You can see there that height is 40 pixels. Let me show you in the detailed reports part. So it failed. So if you can have your multiple spec file in one test report itself. I'll go to this spec file and where it failed. And for what it failed. Height is 40 pixels. Header height is 245 pixels instead of 40 pixels. So you have a detailed view of reporting. Now let's fix it. Let me change this to. So you can provide a range also. If you are aware of that, okay, 245 pixels can vary from 245 to 250, give the range. So test the application. It passed. Now we can see that the same in the reports also. It did pass, but the folder is, yeah. And you can test the performance, how long it is taking. It's taking too long for one of the spec file, just to keep an eye on it.
So it's about all the usability testing. Are we testing the responsiveness from this?
Yeah, we'll get there. There's another demo.
There's another demo for you. That what we want if we are testing on different devices.
This is one time.
So as we were So we can see here the tagging comes here in H. I want the height and width of every device. Width should be 100% of screen width and height 100 pixels. And when I tag it for a different devices, suppose a menu item for a desktop and a tablet, then I'm giving a menu height as a 50 pixels. So this is how you override whatever you have provided in your all, and when you run the test, you can just run both all and your specific device. So you get rid of writing of that same side panel if it is same in the same devices for all other devices. So let's run this test. And so let's run this test, and as you can see here, I have a different reports: desktop, mobile, and a tablet.
Maybe you want to show that first, like how you define the size of mobile desktop,
Size of
like the resolution.
resolution I'll be defining
In the other
on the command. In the other. So here we are specifying the version of it. I'll show to you guys here. That we are specifying the size, and it includes the desktop, and the HTML reports are different. Same way we'll be doing it for the mobiles and tablets. So here comes whether I'll be doing the same or I'll be writing multiple commands for the running my sites in a different versions. Here comes the picture of how can I make it run in a test suite. So we'll define our demo.test. So this is what my demo.test looks like. So we have category given as a @parameterized, what device, what size, and what tags. So even in the previous test in the command, I was giving it device, size, and tags. Now you don't need to give it. You just need to provide your URL and which spec you would like to run. Even URL can also be parameterized whenever you are running a multiple versions or a different pages in the entire website. So now single command will go through it, and